let's stay with Calloway. Something Calloway introduced is another story that you have. The amusement tax, or as we say, the event ticket tax.
They're calling it amusement tax. They actually told me yesterday, she and her staff told me yesterday to be kind of careful about the language you're using, because right now this is like a very, we don't have a lot of specifics on what this will be. So they're calling it an amusement tax.
Okay.
Does that mean it's going to be a tax on tickets? Does it
so
mean
they don't necessarily know how it'll function, because this also in your article, hopefully you scroll to that, you went into this isn't like the first time this been introduced. It's been introduced multiple times before, of how to look at some of the larger events that happen in the city of Detroit being taxed to come back to the residents, which is also very unique, because a lot of the tax abatements are connected to building these structures that are supposed to come back and help residents as well. So it's like it's a two-tier system. But then I guess you have the Downtown Development Authority, which captures a lot of that money downtown, connected to these structures and everything. So like it's multiple things playing out. And this is something introduced by Calloway. Please break down where we stand with this.
Let's just be kind of clear about what actually happened. I mean, they passed a resolution asking the legislature to pass a bill that would then let Detroit create an amusement tax. So we're pretty far away from actually having something, take effect. Basically, a resolution is kind of like a letter that says, hey, lawmakers, we would really like you to do this. So whether the legislature picks that up this year in a time where a lot of other things are happening, redistricting and an election and all of that, and even the governor has said she's not really interested in seeing any kind of tax reforms. Does that apply to this? Probably not. I think she was talking more about like general kind of income taxes. And
that's interesting, because the governor also supports the land value tax, but continue.
Right. Well, yeah. And so what's the status of that large kind of tax proposal that Detroit is backing? Can they get two done in a year, let alone one? But Whitfield-Calloway says she's working with Senator Sylvia Santana and Senator Mallory McMorrow to work this out, to basically introduce a bill sometime this year. And Santana had introduced bills in 2017 and 2019 that would have created a 10% admission fee on events with more than 500 people, which is not just, Taylor Swift and big.
No, I mean,
it applies to zoos.
Sometimes Detroit is different, does events with more than 500 people.
Yeah. I mean, it applies to a lot more sporting events, festivals, zoos, theaters, museums. It wouldn't have applied to schools, including college athletics. So that wouldn't, Wayne State Games and stuff wouldn't have been applied to that. But that was what she had tried to do in the past. And it's not clear yet whether, that's the model moving forward. If there's other things that could be done. I mean, it's still really early. Councilmember Coleman Young also introduced a bill when he was a state senator in 2018. That would have charged $3 per person for sporting events or concerts with a seating capacity of 5,000 or more. So that's kind of the bigger events that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And then what's interesting too is that the council president had introduced or kind of pushed for creating a 2% surcharge on tickets, specifically at like Illich owned arenas. So I guess Comerica Park and LCA, and it's not clear whether that would have applied to like the Fox Theater or some of the other
Olympia entertainment entities.
Right.